Good evening, folks. I am tbham, and I'm bringing you yet another game from r/castit, a little community that's part of the StarCraft community that's on Reddit. People just submit the replays that they think are nice, and people like me pick them up and cast them. Just a nice little thing to do for nice ladder matches that you have. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our players. And spawning in the top right of our map star station is the red Protoss. He is TenchiSaWaDa. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom left of Star Station, is the blue Terran player. It is Castiel. This map is it's a nice, large, open map. There are a lot of paths to take. This little middle section can be hard to get through with a huge ball of an army, but there's enough avenues towards your opponent that it is very nice for engagements, different areas you can engage, and facing a Protoss here, it's really difficult for them to force field off a large portion of your army unless you make unless you're fighting into a choke. However, this huge entrance into both of the bases here, it's good for like early Reaper play. And speaking of, gas is on 12, so it probably will be Reapers to open with. Just a quick Reaper expands. They do a good job. So many cliffs from the third to get into the main. I'll be able to see things. And for the Protoss player, doing strong blink all-ins really nice in this map since there is such a huge area. And even doing a warp prism play, coming in and landing on this little ledge over here. If your opponent isn't paying attention or doesn't have like a supply depot built over here and has no vision, it's a nice little tactic. Kind of come in and throw your opponent off. As it is, both players just kind of opening up nice and standard. It is indeed a Reaper opening first. This is a ladder star station, and unless this is a very old game, it was switched to cross spawns only, but both players have scouted a wrong position. And this Reaper's actually rallied to the top left base rather than straight across the map. Eventually this SCV will hopefully find it. Maybe he doesn't expect it to be cross spawns. This probe's just chilling on the watchtower, seeing the SCV walk away. And after this first Reaper, Castiel's going to go straight into a reactor. Reapers don't do too well against early Protoss units, and there is indeed a Stalker's going to be coming out, and the Mothership Core as well. It's really nice for repelling these Reapers. Unless you have them in a large number, there's not much they can really do against Stalkers and the Mothership Core. They're still really nice for scouting. And Castiel is expanding already, and TenchiSaWaDa is doing the same, throwing down his expansion after his Zealot and Stalker, so it's not extremely fast. It's somewhat safer than extremely fast expansion. This Reaper is going to get in here. It will pop into the vision of SaWaDa for just a moment, but it's going to get in and it's going to be able to see everything that's going on. It sees just the one gas right now and gets out, sees no other gas. He's gonna see the expansion here in a second, so he knows he's nice and safe. Be nice to see even a third CC come down for a Terran player, and it looks like he is going to be doing just that. Yes, he throws in a third CC and actually puts it in a very nice position, able to lift and go over to the third with very little downtime whenever he desires to do so. Bunker up at front already for Castiel, so he'll be safe from these early units that are out, and they're going to be kind of stuck in his main for the time being because of this Reaper, just making sure it doesn't pull any shenanigans and try to pop in and take out a few probes while it's in there. Essentially, it looks like he is going to try to push out and at least put on a small amount of pressure. He hasn't seen the expansion yet, so he does want to figure out what's going on exactly. All he has seen is the barracks and this gas, so he's definitely going to want to find a way in and see some more. A second barracks coming down and a factory with the second barracks, so either looking to make some window mines for safety or go into a quicker starport for the medevacs. And with this pylon already finished, he actually already has gateway researched complete, and he's going to put on a fair amount of pressure right now. He's got 4 Stalkers, 2 Zealots, and 1 Sentry that's probably back at home somewhere, or it's with the army at somewhere. Can't find your sentry. Oh, there's your sentry. Yeah, the sentry is back home. But these units are going to put on a nice amount of pressure, and it may force Castiel to at least pull some units, and he very well could lose the supply depot. Mushroom Core is giving the nice vision there, so he's going to lose the supply depot. He really won't want to lose this reactor, though. I'm not sure if those stalkers would be in range without being in range of the bunker. They indeed are. So he's going to have to push out with his units and attack so this reactor doesn't die, but this early reactor pickoff will be very, very nice for the Protoss player. And he is a D going to get the reactor. So his production is going to be a little bit stymied right now. And even able to hit the barracks, he's just going to need to lift that and get out of that spot, or at least bring his Marines up and push away this Mothership Core. And back home, Tenchi is just teching up. He already has his forge down, just got his forge down, putting out a Twilight Council right behind it. And that was a nice little bit of damage. He got a supply depot, he got the reactor on the first barracks. So right now, there's not much that's really producing. Stim is on the way, but other than that, it's just some workers. He does have this third CC, so he's going to be really pumping out workers for a little bit. He is slightly behind right now, but that's fairly normal in early game, PvT at least. And still, there's no like Robo or Stargate tech out for the Protoss player. We'll have to see what he decides to do with the Twilight Council. If he's going to go Blink, or if he wants to put down like a DT Shrine for even more early pressure, or go into quick charge. And some more gateways coming down right now, but nothing is being researched yet. And it is going to be a Templar Archives, so we'll be going for a quick storm, choosing to ignore Colossus production. And it's not something typically Terrans will do. They won't really think about getting a Ghost Academy early enough to really counter this quick storm play. He does have 2 Engineering bays already, so he will be getting double upgrades, which will help him a fair amount. And right now, it is just going to be transitioning into a much later game. We'll probably see Tenchi may decide to take his third somewhat quickly here. His minerals are getting a little high, and he's actually getting charged. So we'll be charge Archons and Storm, and even just having the Templar 4 feedbacks, 4 drops that come in. Since there is so much airspace around these bases, it's really nice for medevacs to pop in and out if they wanted to. The first 2 medevacs are completing right now, and it looks like Castiel may want to push out a little bit, put on some pressure with these first 2 medevacs. Stim is just now completed. Combat Shield is on the way, and 1-1 is still a ways away. I think he may just be kind of scouting around it now. And the Zealot is on patrol. I imagine, hopefully, trying to spot a drop that would, or at least seeing the army move out and coming right here. Hallucinated Phoenix is going to be moving across the map. Scan goes down. Didn't really catch much. I mean, he sees a couple more gateways, but that's really all he has seen. He hasn't seen any of the tech inside yet. And because of that, he is getting this first missile turret. He's already taken his third. That's kind of, I guess it's going to be his sort of the risk of this game, is putting that third down there this early. And he's going to be trying to do a double drop, but there is only 1 Stalker up here. This High Templar could get a nice feedback on this, though. Actually, he's going to snipe down that Templar before it did anything. There's another one over here. Storm is not done. Storm is done. Sorry, there it is. There. In fact, Storm is very done. It just finished. Nice feedbacks on both of those medics. Both medics are dead. So all these units are trapped at the moment. Charge is done as well. So he's not going to get too much for his trouble. Couple worker kills. He did get the 1 Templar, which was nice. And to counter for this, Tenchi has warped in some Zealots, and they're going to go pressure at his third, which is a very smart idea, given how little is back home right now. 54 to 34 army supply, and there's only about 10 army supply that's in this little area here. Actually, it's 12, isn't it? That's 6. He's going to push across right now, because most of Castiel's army was in those 2 drops. And the workers killed tab evens up with that little Zealot run by, and a lot of units can be moving across the map right now for TenchiSaWaDa. Some of these Zealots get a little antsy and trying to get out a little early. Armory is going to be completing in a few moments, which will give him the chance to get up to 2-2, but there is going to be an engagement here, and he's actually probably going to just lift the CC and get the heck out of there. He's going to lose some SCVs for that. So he loses 9 more so far, or 10 more actually. Math is a very difficult subject, kids. Stay in school. These extra barracks that are out in front of his natural are very, very exposed right now, and these storms are gonna kind of zone out Castiel's army. He does kill one barracks, and the storm goes down on just a couple units. A little bit of a waste of storm. I think those Marauders were going straight for some Templar, and they're going to pick up another Templar. This Templar does have enough energy for storm, but it's choosing not to. He's just going to send some Zealots in there to try to take out the Marauder, but Marauders are pretty beefy units, especially with the Medevacs supporting them. Meanwhile, Tenchi's third is done, and yeah, he's got a nice little lead here. He killed off a fair number of workers, and he's almost done with 2-2 of his own right now. And with that little run by and the army counter swing after killing those 2 Medevacs in his main, he has taken a nice little lead. Mules are definitely going to be helping our Terran player out, and he's also going to be trying to drop and really pull his Protoss opponent apart. This pylon is very, very close to scouting and seeing his Medevacs come in, but it's going to be just out of range unless he happens to turn. No, he will have no idea that this is coming until it probably hits. He doesn't have this tower here. These Medevacs don't take the long way around and probably go into this area. There are some units already waiting just for that. There's a Templar waiting, and there's another Templar actually. There's 2 Templar in his main waiting for drops to come in for the nice feedbacks. And the Medevacs won't die to the feedbacks, but they will be basically useless after they drop their load. With 2-2 finished for our Protoss player, 2-2 is almost completing for the Terran, and he did add on a Ghost Academy, so we'll be getting some Ghosts soon. Adding that to the composition, going to be especially necessary against all of these Templar, especially how early they were. Scan goes down, trying to find out where exactly the army is before he decides to drop here, and there isn't much back here. The Templar is kind of out of position, and this Zealot he's going to see that coming at him, and it looks like Castiel is going to want to push at his front, and when he does so, he was going to want to distract him by doing this drop in the main, which is going to get a lot of nice worker kills, kind of even up this worker situation for him. And as he drops, he's warping in right next to the drop, which is kind of problematic because those units do take double damage while they're warping in, so when they come out, they're not really going to do much. This Templar's going to go here and storm, and probably okay, they can get a feedback. The storms actually hit the Medevacs too, so the Medevacs are quite low. And this one Marine is going to sit here and pick away at this poor Templar. He's going to get that kill. 2-2 finished for the Terran during that. And yeah, he killed a good amount of workers. Once again, worker count has evened up. Well, workers killed count has evened up. The Protoss player is down by 9 workers at the moment. A few Zealots going to come over here and at least make this army move. This Templar's going to try to come in here, and he storms, but he doesn't storm in a great area. He's going to storm again, and the snipes do kill it, but not before that Templar gets about 6 kills of his own. So that's a pretty even trade there. 2 ghosts had to snipe in order for that Templar to die, for probably about 6 or 7 Marines and Marauders that just died there. And once again, Tenchi is going to push out here. Only +3 ground weapons on the way. A small attempted run by was already sniffed out, and with this watchtower, he has seen what's coming. He could possibly wait for +3 weapons to finish before he decides to push, and he's actually switching into double Colossus production. And with only there is a second starport. I guess maybe he scouted this at some point. No, he hasn't scouted it yet. He didn't see it. I don't think he's seen the Robo Bay either. Yeah, he did see the Robo Bay, so he doesn't know what's coming. So he did prep to get this another starport out. So it is going to be double starport against double Robo Colossus, a really, really massive tech switch. And Tenchi at the moment is okay with just sitting here and kind of letting his opponent know that he is standing right here and waiting for you to move out with a fair number of storms. I mean, there's 4 Tempo there with almost full energy. And some more Zealots trying to run by over here at the 3rd. Will force Castiel nice snipes on Tempo that we're moving forward. And it looks like he's going to try to get some EPs on this army. But he's unable to do so because he's probably focused on this little runway over here that's going to kill off a lot more workers. Already up to 9 more workers killed now. And meanwhile, another engagement happening over here, and still there's only 3 Templar left at the moment. is that total on the map? There's 9 Templar on the map. Most of them are back home right now. But this little run by is still doing a lot of damage. He's up to 32 workers killed, and it's 53 to 40 workers now. 53 to 43 workers now. So once again, that worker count has swung in the favor of the Protoss. His fourth base, is on the way. Castiel was attempting to make another CC over here, but it had to be canceled because of that run by of the Zealots. But the army right now, it's pretty massive for Terran player, and 3-3 is about to finish. With 3-3, a good number of ghosts here. He has, what was that, 12? I'm good at numbers, it's 11 ghosts. 11 ghosts, and a huge drop over here that I've completely missed. Going to jump into the main and do a good amount of damage. Again, evening up this worker count. A lot of Zealots warped in, but Zealots don't shoot up, and he's going to be able to run away from this. And he's just going to bounce over into the natural. With just this cannon here to trying to defend, there's not much he's going to be able to do against this. And this army at the same time is going to be moving in on move command at the moment, though. And hopefully some good EMPs go down. Good EMPs do go down. He gets most of those Templar and most of the Zealots at the same time. I think every one of those ghosts just died if you just heard all the sounds of the ghosts dying. It's very obvious when they die. So all those Templar did get killed, and meanwhile he is dropped over here, but this drop has mostly been cleaned up. There's only a couple units over here. However, he has lost most everything. There are a lot of Templar here that are going to try to get all the storms, and that storm is mostly eaten by his Zealots. And another EMP from the last ghost, 2 EMPs from the last ghost. There's still 1 Templar with enough damage for storm. These could be turned into Archons, but they're just gonna, that one gets turned to Archon. But supply right now, our Protoss player is down quite a bit in supply. This drop is still picking away at some units here. 33-28 workers killed. Right now it's 43-36 workers, and just a huge army supply lead right now for Castiel. And Tenchi is just in a bad spot right now. He's kind of lost most of his momentum that he had going with that early play of his, killing that 2 drop, the double drop from the very first time that he got dropped. At the moment, there's not many units left in these 2 medevacs. And this medevac will get sniped, and maybe this one too. These do have blink, and they are going to be able to snipe this last medevac along with this cannon. Right now, both players are going to have to go back to making some workers, because the income is what you would expect to see at about 6 minutes of this game. Very, very low. Only 40 to 43 harvesters, and a lot of Tenchi's harvesters are over here AFK, taking a break from their arduous jobs. The big deal for Castiel is that he lost most of his medevacs. He just has 6 medevacs. I don't know where they all are there. There's 2 of them at least. And there's all the rest of the 4 of them. I guess he is able to make 4 at a time. That's kind of helpful. Nice scan, picking up that observer, putting Tenchi in the dark as to where his opponent is across the map. But he does still have a fair number of these Templar and some Zealots. That's about all he has, and the army supply is 106 to 57. It's not in a good way for our Protoss player, but these storms are doing a good job. Medevacs are mostly pretty low on energy, but this army is almost all Marauders. And that's going to do great against what Tenchi has. He has made a good number of Archons in the back, but this base is, with all these Marauders, is going to fall in mere seconds, and indeed it does. He's Tenchi trying to sandwich his opponent. With 1 Archon left, he's not going to be able to do much about these 2 Archons. 1 Ghost left, and another really, really nice storm kills most of Castiel's army, and again, there's just no medevacs. He's lost most of his army. Somehow, he still has 70 army supply, and the worker count is once again in Tenchi's favor, and there's still no 5th base, or even 4th base, sorry, for Castiel. And just now, morphing in another orbital commands. He's going to be really low on economy for a long time. His natural is completely mined out. His main is just about completely mined out. One of his gases is already dead. So his income is really, really hurting right now. There was a decent bank, but most of his bank is in gas right now, because he doesn't have these extra bases to drop all these mules at. He really needs to start taking those bases, and quickly. He's going to want to transfer a good amount of SCVs. There are a lot of SCVs and mules working on these few minimum projects that he has left. This Zealot is just kind of walking around trying to figure out what's going on. He's going to take this watchtower, and he's going to see that this has been taken. And right now, he's just kind of catching up. Tenchi was down a fair amount, but that last engagement with a lot of nice storms, he's able to take out most of his army, and again, it's just a lot of those medevacs. He lost so many medevacs. He's having to remake them right now. Even going back into Colossus production could be good. It will be a little bit worthless since his opponent does have double starport. And given how low Tenchi is on resources right now, it'll be kind of hard. And this Zealot's going to get in here and try to be a hero, see how many kills he can get. These SCVs do have 3 armor, so they're taking a while for him to kill. And he does get 1 more kill, but that is all. However, this base is getting bum rushed here, and without a repair, it has a really good chance of just dying. And losing the CC will be a really big deal. He's going to want to repair that as soon as he possibly can. Nice. Oh, the storms. How is the weather? Storms blanket the Terran army, killing most of it. There are enough medevacs to heal that up, but it is, once again, huge army supply advantage for the Terran player. But he's getting just completely, and he agrees, nice storms. Those were pretty intense. He is still a fair bit down. It is almost a 60 supply advantage for the Terran player. These medevacs are all low. None of them have any energy. So this army is getting weaker and weaker. Players just talking to each other. They're both enjoying having a nice game like this. It's a very low economy game right now. And Castiel is going to try to push out. Both players do have 3/3, +1 shields also, and this game is just going to kind of continue on for a while. And still need another base likely for the Terran player. He's going to have to take this base eventually, or he's just going to run out of money. The Protoss still has not much left at this base. Most of his probes are over here. He's quite oversaturated. And again, another gauge about to happen. A lot of ghosts. The ghoster gets stormed, and that storm just whips completely. But these ghosts are huge EMPs. Gets most of these zealots on this pack. And the one Colossus that he did have was sniped immediately. Archons being made, and Archons versus a lot of stem bio. It's looking rough, but there's not much of an army here right now. There's a huge army supply advantage, but it's just most of it's back home and sitting. Meanwhile, this army is getting shredded right now. This ghost does get 1 more EMP off on most of the zealots, but still it's 3 Archons versus this small amount of army. And the medevacs are there, and they do look scary, but they have no energy. And I think TenchiSaWaDa has realized that, and he's going to push in here. These Archons are going to be able to do a lot of damage. He's doing some nice kiting, getting as much done as he can, and more medevacs are falling. And these Marauders are going to do what they can to kill off the rest of this army. Stimming again, kind of stimming to their own doom, as only a few shots from these Archons will take care of that. More Zealots and some more Tempo are going to be coming in, try to take care of this. Once again, there's just a huge army sitting back home that could be doing some more work elsewhere. And these Marauders are going to try to run home. Stalker's going to blink forward and pick some off. And again, just a nice little reinforcement ball is in the back here. 136 to 96 supply right now. And yeah, Tenchi sees this reinforcement and is hightailing it out of there. He has a chance to bait Castiel into these storms again though. And it looks like he's not going to be able to do that though. Castiel's going to try to probably want to kill off this base as soon as he possibly can. Right now, still just nothing but units in the production tab. No more bases coming in for either player. It's just going to be kind of some units and mules coming down. These ghosts are cloaked, and there is no observer here, and they're going to get huge EMPs. Everything is EMP. Absolutely no energy on anything left right now. There's this one Templar back here. It's just kind of forced him into making Templar, and this base is going to follow game with the amount of Marauders are here. But to do so, he is probably just going to leave. He's going to start hiding and leave. He has no Vikings anymore, and there are 2 Colossus. The 2 Colossus do a lot of damage. They're doing a lot of work here, and kind of trying to even up supply again. The problem being, there is another reinforcement forcing army back here, but there's no answer right now for these Colossus. The Colossus are going to have free reign to kill off a lot of units, and I think Tenchi knows that he's in a rough spot. He is retaking this base, but in doing so, he wants to take out this base, and Castiel knows that. He's going to run away as fast as he can, but these SCVs, almost all of them get sniped. And Tenchi's going to turn around and make sure he doesn't get his army caught out in a bad position. And meanwhile, Castiel is going to move across with this huge army. If these Templar can get good feedbacks, and they're going to get him dropping here. I think Tenchi knows. No, maybe it was just a misclick there. I think he had to hit enter at some point. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much left for a Protoss player. He's bringing his army back right now. Again, supply is just slow right now. and it's slowly getting back into the Protoss' favor. He's huge feedbacks, almost all his medevacs. He did miss one medevac, and I think he double feedback one of the medevacs. They do get out of there with most of their units, but this base is not where it needs to be right now. And 54 to 38 workers. As soon as this base finishes, Tenchi's income is going to go up a lot higher than his Terran opponents, and his supply is almost even now. Castiel is just so broke right now. He just had a lot of SCVs sitting here not doing much. He's scanning a lot of places rather than dropping the mules to get him some bank. Because right now he's at 1,500 gas and it's just absolutely no minerals. And he's moved his third base over to his fifth here now. But this army's going to come over here and try to take out this CC, and very likely that's going to happen. There's not much. Even if he lives here, there are 4 Archons, and it's already burning and moving the wrong direction. And with a lot of energy on it, that's a fair amount of mules. He just lost a lot of minerals. And Tenchi is pulling this game back in his favor. He was quite a bit down. One zealot in here trying to do a little bit of harassment, but it's not going to get much done. Workers' supply right now is hugely in Tenchi's favor, and even with the mules, the Protoss has a better income right now. And not only that, he has a better gas income too. He's still on, what is this, 1 geyser, 3 geysers, and another 2 geysers over here. So he has 5 geysers right now, and gas is exactly what Protoss needs this late in the game. Even if he's low on minerals, he can make a lot of Templar and use them for the Storm and then an Archon. So it's kind of like a double unit for not many minerals and a lot of gas, which Castiel would surely love right now, given how high he is on gas and how low he is on minerals. Another Zealot coming in here, and Storm is going to take out, or at least try to take out, a lot of SCVs. He does kill a lot more SCVs, up to 57 worker kills so far in this game. And for the first time in a long time, the Protoss player has taken a supply advantage. He's going to come in here and he's going to get this first ghost and blink away. Nice little victory there. There are 2 ghosts left. Is that it? Yeah, those are the last 2 ghosts for him right now. And a lot of Zealots are just going to continually run in here and take out SCVs, take out these mules every time they drop. And being that this is the only mining base for the Terran player right now, there's not much you can do. He really needs to kind of go over there and protect his SCVs. And this is going to blink, or this is going to have to lift again. And as it does, the SCVs run away, and Tenchi pulls in his stalkers to kill some SCVs. And it looks like Castiel has had enough. He's going to just go for it. There's a lot of storms right now, and there are absolutely no ghosts left. And those storms do a ton of damage. He still has a lot of storms left. And storms, indeed, storms alone took out all those medevacs and all those units. And 103 supply to 30 supply. It looks like our Protoss player has managed to take out the Terran. A great comeback for the Protoss player there. It was looking very, very grim for him for a long time. And I think he's still shocked. He hasn't left the game even. He's so shocked that he ended up winning. He just now leaves the game. Yeah, great job from our Protoss player there, storming his way to victory for sure. But when he realized what situation he was in, he played it about as perfect as he could. Got some Colossus because there was no way his opponent was going to be able to make some Vikings, and just pulled himself back into this game. Somehow managed to claw back into this game. Such a disadvantage, and came back. That is it for this game. Once again, I am tbham. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/tbham, on Twitter at tbhamsc. Thanks for submitting these replays. Keep doing it. If you want to submit replays just to me alone, you can find me on Reddit, TromboneHam, or you can email them to me, tromboneham@gmail.com. Thank you, and I'm out.